Right now at noon, today's the day we're feeding the 4 states. How you can give back to your community.
And the clouds have built in across the area, looking kind of dreary out there. Still warm, still breezy, but changes on the way. The latest on that forecast coming up.
Plus, the suspect of last night's shooting was found passed out in a car.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Today we have a special broadcast for you as it's our Feed the 4 States telethon. The food bank, as you can see, is set up right now in our studio, ready to take your calls. You just phone in a monetary pledge of any amount, and 100% of that money will be given to local food pantries in your area to help feed the people in need this holiday season. The number to call is 1-888-620-4869. That's 1-888-620-4869. And a lot of our 4 states rely on food banks, and this time of year, budgets can be tight. One of the food banks that our Feed of the 4 State campaign works with is the Wesley House in Pittsburgh.
And we don't do any special Thanksgiving boxes or anything like that. We have had an increase in the people that have come to see us, just needing that extra food for the month.
The Wesley House is the largest food pantry in Crawford County, serving 1 out of 5 residents. Feed the 4 States also works with Crossline's Food Pantry in Joplin. They've been helping the hungry in Joplin, Webb City, and Carl Junction communities for the last 40 years. They're facing more of a challenge now than ever before.
Yeah, a lot more families. I mean, just with the inflation that we've all dealt with this last year, the more people you have in your household, in many ways, the more you're impacted by the rising cost of food and items this holiday season.
Again, if you'd like to donate to Feed the 4 States, the number to call is 1-888-620-4869. And many businesses can help with filling area pantries, but one local grocery chain is making it easier for customers to donate. G&W stores across the 4 states are donating through its Hometown Helpers program. 28 different locations worked with their town food pantries to understand what items are needed. The customers can buy these, and it will go directly to the pantry in their community.
I hope they see that we're here to help, that we want to be part of the community, and that we want for our community to succeed, and we want to play a part in that.
You can find a list of locations on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com.
And it is warm, it is windy, it is cloudy outside, but today is our last above average day for the foreseeable future. We've got some big changes on the way. Quick look outside, our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. It's cloudy. It's windy, but it doesn't show you that it's warm. But I can assure you, it's not bad out there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line looking pretty good as well. We are still, of course, cloudy out there. Yesterday started the day at 44, so above where we're supposed to be for this time of year. Made it well above where we're supposed to be for this time of year, and just 6 degrees shy of breaking a record that was set back in 1950. That's how warm it's been. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope whatever you had to do outside you are done with, because it's done. It is going to start to get chilly here. 60 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh, and of course cloudy there. Temperatures around the region, 57 in Iola, 61 Chanute, 63 Parsons, Oswego, 60 in Miami, 63 Lamar, 60 in Carthage, Neosho, Anderson, and 62 out in Monette. So you go through the rest of the evening, these cloudy and mostly cloudy skies will continue. We're going to hold on to south winds gusting around 25 miles an hour, and then they'll ease up just a bit as we head through the evening and overnight hours. But thanks to the cloud cover, even though it's not super warm, it is going to act as a bit of a blanket and trap some of this warm air in here overnight tonight. But then that's going to start to change as we head into tomorrow. And we'll have all the information on that in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, a shooting suspect was found passed out in a car on Joplin's Main Street last night. Late Wednesday night, Joplin police investigated a shots fired call near 14th and South Jackson. During that investigation, information revealed a suspect shooter and vehicle description. A few hours later, Joplin police officers noticed that vehicle in a parking lot on the northwest corner of 17th and South Main. Officers surrounded the car and announced occupants to exit the car. One person exited the car after some time. Then officers approached as the other two in the car were passed out. Sergeant Goss told us it appeared that they were all under the influence. Joplin Rescue and MTS ambulance responded to the scene to treat the three from the car. It's still early in the investigation. However, one male from the vehicle is arrested for unlawful use of a weapon related to the shooting earlier on South Jackson. And the K7 highway was closed for hours in Crawford County due to a major crash. At about 4 a.m. Thursday, reports came in of K7 being blocked from a crash that occurred just north of Cherokee, Kansas, near 530 Avenue. As we understand, the crash was actually two crashes. The initial crash was between two vehicles who hit head-on. Then a second crash occurred after a tractor-trailer ran through the scattered debris, causing even further damage. That tractor-trailer stopped after the incident. An unknown number of persons were transported to area hospitals. We'll keep you informed as the latest details become available. A Parsons Middle School teacher's quick actions saved the life of a student. Parsons Middle Schooler Ethan Brown was choking in class. Ethan then ran over to his teacher, Joe Kampmeyer, who called for help and performed the Heimlich maneuver. Within seconds, Ethan could breathe once again.
I'm very grateful for him to assist me that fast, and he's my favorite teacher and always has been.
His parents showed me a lot of gratitude. They were messaging me back and forth. His grandparents, I believe, even reached out to my parents and expressed their gratitude to them.
This school requires training in CPR and the Heimlich maneuver for many staff members, including their coaches, cafeteria workers, and their club supervisors. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. It's been a rally cry for 6 weeks now, and CBS News has learned some of the hostages Hamas is holding in Gaza may soon be released. And later, we're making easy pumpkin pie ice cream in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stay tuned. And our Feed the 4 States Telethon is happening right now. The phone bank is ready to take your calls and donations to help those in our community. The number to call is 1-888-620-4869. Negotiations between Israel and Hamas are progressing, and CBS News is learning about deals to release some of the hostages in Gaza that could come soon. The high-stakes talks come as fighting rages in the Palestinian territory. CBS's Tina Krause reports from London.
Bring them home now! It's been a rally cry for 6 weeks now, and CBS News has learned some of the hostages Hamas is holding in Gaza may soon be released. 2 officials tell CBS Israel would agree to a 3 to 5 day ceasefire to get aid into Gaza and a group of the youngest hostages and women out. Children are being prioritized as part of the first wave of a potential hostage release aimed at ultimately bringing home the roughly 240 people taken during the Hamas attacks. In addition, one of the officials said an unspecified number of Palestinian women and children held in Israeli prisons would potentially be swapped. Israeli forces are advancing their campaign to destroy Hamas in Gaza, releasing video they say shows fighter jets striking the home of Hamas's political leader, Ismail Haniyeh. And soldiers are searching Gaza's largest hospital for a second day.
These weapons have absolutely no business being inside a hospital.
Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says more than 11,000 Palestinians have been killed, and the United Nations human rights chief is demanding Israel end its occupation.
The killing of so many civilians cannot be dismissed as collateral damage. The only winner of such a war is likely to be extremism.
Fighting began October 7th when Hamas carried out a surprise attack in southern Israel. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
The UN Security Council has voted in favor of a resolution calling for pauses in the fighting to allow for humanitarian aid, and it's calling for the unconditional release of hostages. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
We may not have the power to turn a pumpkin into a carriage, but we do have a recipe to turn it into the best ice cream ever.
But first, big changes on the way in our forecast in terms of cooler weather and some rain. We'll take a look at that when the KOAM News at Noon returns.
And our Feed the Four States Telethon is happening right now. We can see those calls are continuing to pour in. We want to give a huge thank you to Linda Miller from Crawford County for her donation. And it's still okay for you to call too. Just give us a ring at 1-888-620-4869. Our operators are standing by.
Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. As we've been reminding you, our Feed the Four States Telethon is happening right now. The numbers you need to call are right there. And if you're more comfortable, if you're like me, I don't like talking on the phone sometimes. Gives my wife a headache. But you can donate online if that's a little more comfortable for you. You can see the website down there as well. So make sure you take an opportunity to do so, helping a number of folks here in the 4 states. And I'm going to help folks in the 4 states feel like fall. Okay, I'm personally not doing it. I'm going to tell you how it's going to happen, and Mother Nature's going to make that work out for you. Here's Skywatch Storm Tracker. Clouds rolling in from the west and southwest, overspreading the entire region. Some of us are just plain old cloudy. Some of us have seen a few peaks of sun. All of this not doing much for us, although a sprinkle or two will be possible tonight and early tomorrow morning. Our next storm system out to the west, and that's going to bring us our opportunity for some rain as we head into the second half of this weekend and into the start of next week. MoDOT camera 32nd and range line. It is cloudy out there. It is cloudy from our camera on the Cornell complex in downtown. It is breezy, as you can see from the flag. Southerly winds out there. And those southerly winds for the last several days are what's been giving us the opportunity for the warm weather. KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh on 69, also showing us those cloudy skies. It looks dark, dreary, and just from our camera here at 7th and range line, but you can see socked in with the clouds and a little lightness backed off to the northwest. 60 in Joplin right now. Southwest breeze at 15. We have seen those gusts pushing upwards of 25. Like Pittsburgh right now, gusts to 22 out of the south, sitting at 61 out there. And around the region, temperatures not warming too quickly, but we may still make it into the mid to upper 60s, especially if you get a few peaks of sun. 61 Chanute, Yates Center 59, 57 in Iola, 60 Miami, Neosho, Carthage, Anderson, 63 in Lamar at this time. All right, so let's take a look down the road. Here's Sunday afternoon. Here's that storm system. Low pressure system back off to the west, bringing us rain chances. So by Sunday afternoon through the evening into our Monday, rain. It may be even a rumble of thunder or two out there. There may be pauses as this whole system wraps around here, but we will continue to see rain through our Monday into the overnight and into the first part of our Tuesday before that does eventually begin to clear out for us. Then we're watching what's happening next Friday. And I told you this morning, I think I said several times that there's going to be 100 changes to what's going to happen next Friday just because it's still so far away. Already changes. As you can see now, future tracks showing the bulk of the snow and wintry activity remaining to the north and just barely brushing us as we go into next Friday and Saturday. Where earlier, you remember it showed a big bulk of snow right on top of us here. And earlier this morning, it showed snow accumulations maybe 3 inches. Then it went up to 6 inches. Now it's down to 0. So there's going to be a ton of changes between now and next Friday, but it is something that we're going to keep a close eye on for you. Low 60s tomorrow. That's that big temperature change we're talking about into the weekend. Then with the rain Monday into Tuesday, that puts us down into the low 50s, upper 40s. And as we head toward Turkey Day, we are looking pretty decent, chilly, but decent, falling back into the low 50s out there. And then we're watching Friday for that potential of some wintry weather. But again, we're several days out. We're just giving you that heads up now to keep an eye on next Friday, and we will as well. Otherwise, it's going to get downright cold next week by the end of the week. Highs upper 30s, right around 40. Overnight lows in the 20s.
Whew.
So we are done with these above normal temperatures for a while.
All right. Well, thanks, Chris. And coming up after this, we're going to be making easy pumpkin pie ice cream in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. And our Feed the Four States Telethon is happening right now. The phone bank is ready to take your calls and donations to help those in your community. The number to call is 1-888-620-4869. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. This easy pumpkin pie ice cream is a perfect way to get that creamy pumpkin flavor and flaky cinnamon pie crust all in one dessert recipe. After all, what's not to love about delicious frosty treats over the holiday season? Take a look.
As we head into Thanksgiving, our craving for everything pumpkin seems to be going strong. As a matter of fact, for those of us who can never seem to get enough pumpkin, we came up with an easy pumpkin pie ice cream that'll certainly satisfy your craving. To make it, we begin by combining a can of pumpkin pie filling with sweetened condensed milk, vanilla, and a pinch of salt. Then we fold in some freshly whipped cream and some chopped pecans. Now, we pour half of this mixture into a loaf pan and top it with a pie crust that we baked with some cinnamon and sugar. After layering the whole thing again, all that's left to do is pop it in the freezer. Once it firms up, you'll have the creamiest, most pumpkin-y flavored ice cream ever. Plus, in each bite, you'll get the flakiness of the yummy cinnamon pie crust. To get the recipe for what we call easy pumpkin pie ice cream, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a creamy, pumpkin-y kind of way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And to find this recipe, along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at your 4-state market prices.
All right, we want you to call and donate to our Feed the 4 States campaign. The number and website down there on your screen. We are warm and windy today, back to normal, so cooler as we head into the weekend. Good rain chances heading into Monday of next week, and temperatures falling back a bit as well into the upper 40s and low 50s.
All right. And Dow, I know you're going to keep this fun going for your evening
bet.
news.
Of course, through 5 and the 6. We're going to talk
right.
about the 5 for starters. We are going to continue the Feed the 4 States Telethon. We're going to have more on how you can donate to support local food pantries, and there is a great need in the area, as you know. Plus, we're going to hear from the director of Souls Harbor about that increase in need from people at food shelters this year all across the area. And one local veteran receives keys to his new mortgage-free home. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. KOAM News at 5.
All right, and there's still time to donate if you haven't done so already. But for now, that'll do it for our news. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.